Sunset Overdrive is probably one of my favourite games of all time. Developed by the geniuses over at Insomniacs Games, Sunset Overdrive has some of the best gameplay available on last generation systems. Combine that with absolutely ludicrous weapons and excellent traversal, and you have a recipe for a masterpiece. Oh, and an absolute boatload of Easter eggs too. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 40 of those Easter egg secrets and hidden details in Sunset Overdrive. Now of course, in a game like Sunset Overdrive that seemingly can't go 5 minutes without referencing someone or something, there is a very high chance that I have missed something here, and if you think I have, then the best places to let me know are in the comments section or on my social media accounts, the links to which are in the description. Oh, and it really should go without saying that this video will contain major spoilers for Sunset Overdrive, so if you do plan on playing this game, stop watching now. Finally, leaving a like on any of my videos always makes me that little bit happier. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So to begin, let's take a look at an Easter egg found in the game's opening sequence. After making it back to your apartment by the skin of your teeth, your character does what any sane person would do next. They grab a beer out of the fridge and wait for all this to blow over. Well, on the fridge is a flyer for an Insomniacs Games console. The games listed for the console seem to be made up, and they are, but they're also references to other Insomniacs developed games. Now I won't name them all, otherwise we'd be here all day, but here are a few of the more popular ones. Fly Rose Wagon is Spyro the Dragon, Catch It and Frank is obviously Ratchet and Clank, Persistence Stall of Man is the PlayStation 3's Resistance Fall of Man, and Overstrike is Fuse. As I said, I'm not going to name them all, but if you feel like testing yourself, why not have a go at naming them all in the comments section. Oh, and something else that you can spot during the opening few minutes of the game is this.
I hate this job.
So your character is playing Sunset Overdrive whilst you are playing Sunset Overdrive. The fourth wall isn't so much broken in Sunset Overdrive, it's actually smashed to pieces, as we'll discover later in this video. Next up is the first of 2 Breaking Bad references I found whilst playing through the game. First up, during the One Man's Trash mission, your character will say this.
And trust me, you're going to love them.
Your street name isn't Heisenberg, is it?
So the Heisenberg that your character is referring to is of course Walter White, aka Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. The next Breaking Bad reference is one that we've seen plenty of times in video games before. So this pizza on a roof is a reference to this scene from Breaking Bad. As mentioned, this Easter egg has been done to death, with Hitman 2, World of Tanks, Dead Rising 3, Cyberpunk 2077 and more all placing a pizza on a roof. Oh, and I almost forgot, there is an entire side mission dedicated to helping someone called Jesse move their operation to a construction site. This involves barrels of blue stuff and even Jesse saying this.
Yeah! Science, bitch!
So, my bad, that was 3 references to Breaking Bad. Next up is some pretty funny dialogue that you may not have heard before. During the tutorial mission called Amp It Up, you are told to test out one of your new upgrades by rolling into enemies. Well, if you decide that you'd rather take a more long-range approach, the announcer will say this.
Now, go kick some ass! You stop shooting and do what it says on the screen!
Oh, and that's not all. When you're asked to switch to the high fidelity weapon during the same mission, if you ignore that instruction, this will happen.
Now, test the weapon out. Use the high fidelity weapon. Come on, because of players like you that we have to create tutorials like this. Open the weapon select menu and switch to the high fidelity. You know, the one that shoots records? Open the weapon select menu and switch to the high fidelity. Use the high fidelity weapon.
So, fans of Pixar movies should recognise this next Easter egg straight away. In fact, just me saying that has probably given away what this next Easter egg is. During the Way Out mission, you have to help Walter fight off some scabs. The scabs are after Walter's homemade aeroplane, which he plans on using to escape the city so that he can expose Fizco's lies. Well, if you take a closer look at the license plate of the machine, you can see that it says A113. This is actually a reference to the classroom used by some of the guys at Pixar whilst they were at college. Of course, A113 has also featured in loads of Pixar's own movies, as well as plenty of other TV shows and films. Oh, and whilst we're on the subject of films, does the name of this Portaloo ring a bell? So the name 3 Shell Sanitation is a reference to the Sylvester Stallone movie Demolition Man, where in the future we'll be no longer using paper to clean our rear ends, instead we will use the 3 shell method, whatever that is.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
Oh, and during the most epic Quest for XP mission, one of the tasks is this.
Now, the second task. There is one ring I very much desire. This elusive ring is only carried at a particular merchant nearest downtown. Thy ring is called the Species, and it should look stunning on mine hairy paws. Tally-ho!
One ring named Specious. Hey, Ignatius, do you know what the word plagiarism means?
Just find the damned ring!
So the specious ring that Ignatius is after is of course a nod to the One Ring from Lord of the Rings. Next up is a blink and you'll miss it moment found in the Bora Bora water mission. During this mission you need to restart a bottled water factory so that you can bring a bottle back for Dirk, a spoiled rich kid who won't drink anything else. Well, when you eventually give the water bottle to Dirk, the ingredients of the water briefly appear on screen, and if we pause it we can see that Bora Bora water is loaded with ingredients including arsenic, tobacco, Mother Nature's Surprise, MSG, MGS, MSGS, and MMSGSSM, to name just a few. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have no idea what half of these ingredients are, with some of them being real whilst others are made up, so if you feel like teaching me a thing or two, feel free to do so in the comments. So it isn't just movies, TV shows, and other games that are referenced in Sunset Overdrive. Even websites get a call out. During the Up in the Air mission, Sam will mention everyone's favourite place to argue with strangers.
You can't shoot it down. It's got shields, but maybe.
Maybe what, Sam?
Huh? Oh, sorry, I was checking Reddit. Follow the patrol ship.
And during the It's Me Fizzy mission, your character will mention the popular video game guide website GameFAQs.
I didn't even have to check GameFAQs.
Oh, and during that same mission, when fighting the giant AI-controlled Fizzy, it will say this.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid.
So that was a reference to the Stanley Kubrick movie 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Another movie reference can be heard during the To Cure a Case of Scabs side mission. In this mission, you'll need to wear the head of a herker to scare the cabs away from the waterfront. Well, whilst you're dealing with the scab problem, one of them will say this.
Come on, with it, please. We can kill it. We can't kill it.
So that was of course a reference to this scene from 1987's Predator.
There is something else. When the big man was killed, you must have wanted it. Its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
So there are over 850 collectibles in Sunset Overdrive, which is a frankly ludicrous amount. But thankfully they're not all as simple as collecting toilet paper off of lampposts, and yes, that is a collectible. For example, the high spot collectibles require your character to look through a set of binoculars. Well, if you look through these binoculars, your character will say this.
What's out there? Maybe we'll find out in the sequel.
So it's been 7 years since the release of Sunset Overdrive, and I'm still waiting on that sequel. Oh, and if you look through these binoculars, your character will say this.
Okay, I'm here. Do I synchronize now or what? Oh, wrong game.
So that was of course a reference to the Assassin's Creed games, where high points are used to reveal locations of interest in the game world. In fact, if you manage to collect all of the high points, you'll unlock this Assassin's Creed inspired outfit to wear whilst you slay OD. Speaking of secret unlockable outfits, if you manage to find all of Ainsley's drawings, there are 12 in total, you will unlock Ainsley's outfit. So who is Ainsley? Well, she's the daughter of Sunset Overdrive director Drew Murray, who wanted to put something special for her in the game. Now, if that's not the most wholesome thing you'll hear all day, then I don't know what is. So Sunset Overdrive released at a time when it felt like Game of Thrones was taking over the world. And sure enough, a Game of Thrones reference can be found in Sunset Overdrive. At the Fargathian's base, King Ignatius' throne looks very similar to the Iron Throne seen in the hit TV show. Another great TV show to make an appearance in Sunset Overdrive is Arrested Development. At several locations in the game, you can find this frozen banana stand. Of course, the banana stand was the family business seen in the show, and remember,
there's always money in the banana stand! No touch!
Next up are even more brilliant fourth wall breaks. During the Find 4Kim mission, you catch up with 4Kim after she has put the hurting on some scabs. It's at this point 4Kim makes a very good point.
Okay, cool. I'm on my way. Wait, how do we communicate with Sam when neither of us is holding a phone?
You know, technology.
Technology.
Let's not complicate things by poking holes in the way we deliver the story, okay?
Oh, okay then. I'm gonna go back to the base and be magically gone by the time you have control.
Fine by me. That's not weird at all.
As I said, I love fourth wall breaks, so you can probably see why I love Sunset Overdrive so damn much. So in Sunset Overdrive, if you stop, you're dead. It's that simple, and if you stop and have no ammo, well, you're definitely dead. Well, if you take refuge at a base and try to fire the Dirty Harry Magnum, a reference itself to the film of the same name, this will happen.
I'm empty!
Oh, and you know the TNT teddy weapon that fires teddy bears with TNT taped to their backs? Well, it turns out that the poor teddy bears are actually alive. So to end today's video, let's take a look at some of the respawn animations in Sunset Overdrive. In most games, dying is a real pain in the arse, but in Sunset Overdrive, it's actually pretty fun. Let's begin with the respawn animations that are references, first with the most popular being a Portal reference. Next up is a nod to the Terminator. Another movie to get the respawn reference treatment is Mission Impossible. You can also phase in just like your favourite characters from Star Trek. And finally, this one is a reference to Bill and Ted. Now, I'm not sure if the rest of these are references to anything in particular, but I'll share them here just in case you recognise one of them. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. As I said, I'm almost certain I've missed something here, and if you think I have, be sure to leave it in the comments. Remember, if you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.